Slot Valley!
So today, to start off the podcast series, I thought I would look at the AutoWorld semi-trucks and trailers. There's been a lot of talk lately about the Loves set that just came out, and people are upset that the trailers are not as drivable as they possibly could be or should be, and there's very easy fixes that would go a whole long way to making these trucks absolutely drivable and raceable. So, here we go. So, being a collector of HO and having this absolutely fantastic channel called Slot Valley Racing, I get a good opportunity to look at the new slot cars that come out and investigate and review them for you guys as well. But what I've been finding lately is the semis that I used to play with my brother and enjoy and have such a great time, and used to put stuff on them like popsicle sticks just to make them look a little bit Mad Max-esque, just to add something a little more to our racing experience. And this you were able to do with an AFX semi, and the reason being is they had them balanced correctly, and not only that, but AFX had them working where they only needed 3 guide pins. So that would be the guide pin for the front of the truck, for the rear of the truck, and one guide pin on the front of the back axle holder. Not 2. Now, taking a closer look at the AFX version of this truck and the AutoWorld version of these trucks and trailers, when you look at the trailers, AutoWorld has totally lost it when it comes to the back mount for the back axles. The back axles are a centimeter too long, so they're about 10 millimeters too long, both of them. So when you turn a corner, the trailer gets whipped to the side, and it always wants to come off the track. Now, to anyone who's bought a new truck set in the last little while, you certainly know what I mean, or you're turning a blind eye to it. It is absolutely impossible to drive new AutoWorld trucks around a course at all for any length of time. They will always come off the track, unless of course you tinker with them and you do stuff with them. Okay, now why would I need to put a magnet in the back of the trailer to hold it to the track? That's ridiculous. That never happened. And AFX had these trucks working really good to the point where they were raceable. So I've heard people in comment sections say that, oh, these trucks are shelf queens, they're not made for racing, and I have to tell you right there, I personally think that you've lost your way on planet Earth, because this is a slot car that we bought to race. They are part of the Racing Rig series. We all bought these rigs to race or at least drive on our AFX or AutoWorld tracks. Now, when I drive these trucks, I can tell you I do not have the experience I had playing with my brother when I was younger. The modern day Racing Rigs experience, like I said, brings you to people in the comment section going on about, oh, how they're not made to be raced on the track and they're more shelf queens. Well, for somebody who doesn't know what a shelf queen is, a shelf queen is a slot car that you do not drive on the track. It's basically a showpiece in your collection. So then what they're trying to tell me without actually telling me is AutoWorld are selling these trucks to purely put on my shelf. And you know what I have to say to that? Garbage. If I wanted a truck that wouldn't drive on my slot car track, ladies and gentlemen, I would have bought a Hot Wheels. I'm pretty sure everybody knows what a Hot Wheels is. It's basically a slot car without an engine. So why would I want to pay $70 for a racing rigs truck that can't stay on the track, that AutoWorld has completely changed from the way AFX had it set up? And that's another question we're gonna examine right away, is what exactly happened to the trucks when they went from the Aurora inventory to the AutoWorld inventory. So let's get into that. When I looked at the diagram for the AFX trucks when they first came out, the AFX truck, for one, had 2 pins, as I've already stated, in the front and in the back of the truck, and only 1 pin in the trailer. Now, the axle guide, that is a part of the problem here, has been made smaller for some odd reason, and they made the back axles on the semi longer for some, once again, odd reason. So all of this play equals a slingshot when you try and drive it around the corner. There's no other way of looking at it. And anybody who's not seeing this correctly is a dealer and is turning a blind eye to the obvious issue. Now, I don't need anybody to tell me what my slot cars should be like, because I don't have anybody paying me to say anything. What I am saying is the absolute truth. Everything has been looked into in detail, and AutoWorld is purely needing to change the back axle mounts on all of their semi-trucks. Now, I hope this is something that maybe AutoWorld or somebody who actually cares about the product can act on, because we do not want to keep getting trucks like this. I'm not sure why AutoWorld keeps producing trucks or vehicles that are defaulty and don't work correctly. So I really think, personally, AutoWorld needs to have a quick look at how their trailers are set up, because when I keep hearing things about how it's really expensive to change things in the HO world. Well, how about this one? Why did AutoWorld change anything from the old Aurora design of the semi-trucks? Has anybody ever thought about that one? But I bet now you're going to at least have a look into it. If you look at an Aurora trailer and truck, they've done a really great job on that. And then when that patent went over to AutoWorld, do a little investigating for yourself. That's all I say. I don't expect you to listen or to believe anything that I say. I do expect you to do a little research on your own. It's very easy to do. Just look up Aurora semi-trucks, and then look up AW semi-trucks, and have yourself a good little eye-opener. I believe in some circles, they would actually call this a downgrade. And I really don't think there's any other way of looking at it. At the end of the day, all I want is a semi-trailer that's usable, that will at least stay on the track for more than 1 lap. Now, if you guys aren't sure what I'm talking about, you're more than welcome to check out my video on Ice Road Extreme or Ice Trucker Extreme, or whatever that set was with the 2 semis that was put out. Had me totally excited. And of course, because not only that, but the show for those trucks was made here only half an hour from me. And of course, it was also made off the Liam Neeson movie, which dealt with ice road trucks as well. So with my great interest in these trucks, and I do say that I really don't collect them, but I sure do. I seem to have quite a few of them. But I can tell you this right now, folks, and I'm kind of upset about it. I don't drive any of them because I can't. If you've seen my new videos lately, I just recently received both the KISS trucks. Of course, once again, they are part of the Racing Rig series, but guess what? Guess what I can't do with the Racing Rigs truck? That's right, I can't race it. I have a drag strip, and all these trucks have to do is drive straight down the track. And because the axles are so long on the back of the trailers fall off literally the trailers fall off the trucks going in a straight line down my drag strip. Now, if you're not sure what I'm talking about, once again, please check out my videos at Slot Valley Racing. If there's one thing you're going to find out about me is I do not accept advertising for anybody for anything. Everything that I've done, I definitely do my research on, or I have my absolutely fantastic Discord community to help me out. And all the guys on Discord, I want to thank you very much. And hey, if you're not part of Discord, maybe it's time. All right. So now let's talk about who these racing rigs are made for. So as we all know, the Love's Truck Stops have put out their own set with the two yellow Love's trucks with a mediocre livery on them, but the trucks look nice. It's nice to have a new set of trucks. The livery could have had a little something more on it other than just Love's in one spot. But like I said, I like the yellow of the trucks. They're definitely part of the Racing Rig series, and they're collectible. So I will be having a set of these. Mind you, once again, AutoWorld has done their best to make racing rigs impossible to race by changing the back axles up. Now it's been going on for many years since they've gotten the patent from Aurora, and now it'll always be the same until they change the back axle holder. There's no other way of looking at it. I don't care if you're a person that adds magnets to it, adds this, that, or the other. There are 3 things that need to happen to an AutoWorld trailer in order for it to drive correctly. Number 1, the axle mount needs to be wider. Number 2, the axle needs to be about 5 millimeters shorter, both of them. And finally, the trucks need some weight in the back. I don't know why AutoWorld stopped doing this along the way. The only thing I could think of is it's cheaper if you don't have to put that piece of weight in the back. So, all right. So let's talk about Love's that just came out. So it's a fantastic idea that Love's puts these in their gas stations. And these, for the most part, are to get new people to our hobby, or at least finally start advertising for slot cars a little bit. The problem with this is, as we all know, first off, the racing rig line are not made for kids. I'm sorry. I will not let AutoWorld shove that down anyone's throat. I will 100% put my foot down on that. Any racing rig that's ever been produced by AutoWorld is not a kid's toy. This is what I would consider to be a higher level slot car because of how difficult AutoWorld has made to control it. Now you're saying, well, why isn't it for kids? Slot cars are for kids. Well, because of the high level to control the AutoWorld racing rigs, in my opinion, if a kid ever gets a hold of one of these racing rigs tracks and trucks, the one first biggest problem that this child will have, they will pop a shoe or something of that sort. Their trucks won't run, and that'll be the end of it for a kid. To be honest with you folks, if you have kids and you want to buy HO slot cars and tracks for them, I would say definitely start with AFX. 99% of the time you put an AFX car on the track, it will go. You'll be lucky if you get that 80% from an AutoWorld car. So, the Racing Rigs has an extraction chassis that, as I just mentioned, you're going to get 80% get up and go when you put it down on the track every time. That compiled with the fact that there is not a chance that your kid is going to be able to control these trucks around the Love's figure 8 track with a smash point in the middle, which is ridiculous. Okay? This is not what AutoWorld should have done. Putting a cross point in the middle. What exactly is going to happen when these two trucks collide in the middle of that, right? Let me tell you, you've just popped a spring. Let me finish that line for you. And now, your slot car racing day is over. Not only is it over because you popped a spring and totally can't find it. You all know what I'm talking about here. But now you're going to have to order new ones. Once again, this is not a track for kids. They can aim it at kids. Retailers can scream from the rooftops that it's for kids. And by the way, I think any retailer that tries to push this on a kid or on a family with kids as the starter set should be fired, because they're the reason this hobby is tripping. This hobby is tripping right now because we have people in our hobby who want to sell product that has nothing to do with moving slot car into the future. Now for me, I'm all about moving HO slot cars into the future. I really think we've totally had enough of 55s. If I go through my whole slot car career and never hear about a 55 ever being produced again on, once again, a shell produced by AutoWorld that was originally being made by Aurora. And if you look at the difference in those two shells, once again, I have to ask AutoWorld, why did you bother to change this? So I hope I got you thinking about a few things in our HO world here, and I hope that we could all get on the same page about what this hobby needs to move forward. I'm personally thinking that slot car has had its heyday in the past, and that's all great. And for collectors, that's even better. But it's time to move slot car into the future. And I don't think we need to be producing stuff that is going to hurt our hobby. The last thing a family or a child needs is to put an AutoWorld car on the track and it doesn't go, or a trailer on the track and it doesn't stay on the track. Now, once again, for those of you who aren't sure what I'm talking about, you're more than welcome to check out the Ice Road Extreme set. I did 2 reviews on that set. I was so frustrated about what happened while I was filming that set that it really turned me off, until of course I seen the Kiss, the 2-pack Kiss racing rigs. Now those are nice. Those will be shelf queens. They won't be driven down the track. That was my original plan in the first place. But I do expect to be able to drive all of the other AutoWorld racing rigs down my track without them falling off. Now, to any dealer who's listening out there who has a little bit of pull with AutoWorld, you've just heard the problem with what's wrong with the racing rigs. My question to you is, do you pretend you never heard this podcast, or do you act on it? And remember, I don't really care how long you've been in the hobby for. I don't care how long you sold slot cars for. I don't care. What I care about is moving our great hobby into the future and not having people pull it back. That's what I care about. So at the end of the day, you'll know every time that when you listen to Slot Valley Racing's podcasts, or you watch my videos, or you see me live on Monday night at 7 p.m., or you see me tonight live, Thursday at 7 p.m., where I'm going to be talking about where people buy their HO products from. This is going to be a good one. So I'd like to sum all this up with frustration is abound. But I want to thank AutoWorld for being consistent with their racing rig line. At least I know exactly what I'm expecting now when I order racing rigs. And I'm expecting subpar. I'm expecting subpar that I don't expect to race on my slot track. And that's sad. Like I said, if I didn't want the truck to move, I would have bought Hot Wheels. I want to thank all my subscribers, and I also want to thank all my members. Guys, thank you very much. I absolutely appreciate it. And once again, to all my slot car community brothers and sisters in Discord, I want to thank you guys for helping me and the talk about these trucks, it's exactly what we need in our slot car community. And I thank you guys for that. I thank everyone for listening to this podcast, because sometimes you just need to be in the know. From all of us here at Slot Valley Racing, don't forget, get your heart racing.
What? Did we just become best friends? Yup. You want to go do
Slot cars in the garage?
Yup.